It's almost here, 50 years of Doctor Who. We've had 11 Doctors so far with a range of personalities and costumes. So let's look back at some of the previous looks the Doctor has had and appreciate just how wonderful some of them are. Partner numero uno. The first Doctor dressed rather well actually. He has some little quirks with his outfit, like the trousers, which were a bit informal compared to the suit jacket and ribbon tie he wore. The pocket watch as well was a nice touch. Patrick Troughton was very scruffy. He looked like a teenager in hand-me-downs. His clothes looked too big for him and they didn't really go well. But good for you, Doctor. Wear what makes you happy. Pertwee's costume is a complete contrast to the previous Doctors. He's very dapper, isn't he? He's got the frills, the silk, the lovely locks. Although his costumes did change, they were very, very similar. He was just fickle on the colour, I think. And he had a cloak. A cloak. Tom Baker's look is probably the most well known. The long scarf and coat are normally the first thing people think of when you mention Doctor Who, unless you're only acquainted with New Who, in which case watch some classics. As he was the first Doctor I ever watched, I am guilty of this as well. I was also upset that the other Doctors ignored me while Tom spoke to me through the television. I was only 6. Peter Davison's attire is very beige with strawberry piping. His look is very English, the cricket jumper, the hair as well. The question marks on the collar came in here, which made the uniform, be it an odd one, look a bit more eccentric. He was very matchy-matchy. Cricket matchy. That wasn't in the script, you can cut that out. Colin Baker, what can I say? I won't mention the C word. Not that one. Okay, fine, the coat. The coat. I love the coat. Although I don't like the fact that Colin didn't like it. The 6th Doctor was sarcastic, blunt, and uses his wisdom more than any other Doctors could. That was a quote from my previous video.
Colin!
Christopher Eccleston eventually got the type of costume that Colin requested. Poor Colin. Along with the coat, he also had the cap pins, the question marks on the collar of his shirt again, the chain, the waistcoat, the tie. It was just an explosion of colour and fabric. The fact that the 6th Doctor wore all of that and was still looked on as a genius and a leader proves that Colin was really, really good. Sylvester McCoy again kept the question mark look. I used to think Colin, Peter and Sylvester wore them to correct the mistake in the title, Doctor Who. Every time I sat down and watched the show, I used to think, Doctor Who? Is this the episode we find out who he actually is? That dog. Paul McGann in the TV movie wore a fancy dress costume, which I love because it's fancy dress, and makes the only British character in the film even more British. The posh frock contrasts a lot with the rest of the film, which is, at the time, modern day America. Christopher Eccleston's ensemble really reflected his character, sort of no-nonsense, ready for action, and pretty damn cool. I'm really curious as to how he chose the leather jacket. Did he do it to blend in? Did he want one since it was in fashion the first time round? Was it on sale? Anyway, he made the right choice this time. Fantastic. David Tennant's blue suit, brown coat and confidence go really well together and aided him in getting into places he wasn't allowed to get into. And his psychic paper probably helped a bit. Okay, it was probably all his psychic paper. But let's just hope the people he's trying to fool don't look at his shoes. The shoes change the entire outfit. With the Converse, it makes it a lot more casual than it would have been with dress shoes. Matt Smith looking cool in his bow tie and tweed. There is a suggestion that the 11th Doctor is going through a midlife crisis, which explains his childish persona and his list of Father Christmas. However, he dresses like an old man that was walking to a cafe to read his morning paper. I really like the 11th Doctor's look, mainly because I've seen it on a lot of old people and old people make me happy. Peter Capaldi can wear whatever he likes. I really hope the question marks come back for some reason, but I really want him to wear a cape. He's got to wear a cape. Capes are cool. I hope you all enjoy the 50th as much as we will at FiveWhoFans. Bye!
Everybody in their cats at the moment is saying Doctor Who's been on screens for 50 years, which isn't exactly true. While it started 50 years ago, it's only been on screens for 36 years. Everyone seems to forget the 1989 to 2005 gap called the Wilderness Years.